Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and every week I take a close look at the real estate market here in the Villages. I'm going to orient you as to where the Villages is located. We are in Central Florida. The map you're looking at is showing you all active listings on the MLS as of today. Size of the circle denotes the size of the home, and the color of the circle denotes its price per square foot. That will be the case for all these maps that I show you, and you can see that it does indeed locate each home individually. The Villages is a 55 plus community. We have golf courses spread throughout, championship and executive. We have recreation, shopping, dining, and live entertainment in four town squares every night of the week. If you want to know what's happening to the real estate market here, what long term trends are, where properties are selling, where they aren't selling, this is the show for you. I'm going to break the Villages into four distinct geographic regions so you can compare between them. And a couple of things to note, the Villages has two distinct real estate marketplaces, the MLS and the VLS. The VLS is the Village's own internal marketplace. It's the only place you'll find new listings, but pre-owned homes are both on VLS and MLS. So if you're a buyer and you're only seeing VLS or you're only seeing MLS, you're only seeing about half of the properties available for sale. All of the information I'm presenting here is drawn from the MLS. The other point is that we produce this show every Monday. Make sure you check the date to ensure you're getting the most recent information. And as you look at this video, you get some sense as to the wide variety of homes available here. But it's worth noting that whether you have the least expensive home or the most expensive home, you have the same use of the amenities: golf, pickleball, recreation centers, swimming pools, etc. If you need to reach me, I can be reached either at DavidisinFlorida.com or DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Be happy to help you with any questions you have. If you're a buyer looking for a good deal, I think you'll find our data-driven approach will help you find one. And if you're a seller, I think you'll find our approach will help you justify the highest reasonable asking price. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at what's happening in the Villages real estate market this week. So let's start by diving straight into listings, which this week number 604 total listings. This is down 100 from the 704 listing peak that we saw on the 21st of April of this year. The number of listings obviously still dramatically higher than we've seen over the last several years. This is the median days on the market for all MLS listings as of this week. We're at 73 and a half days. This is the highest level we've ever seen. Last week was 70 days, which was also the highest level we'd ever seen. Obviously, number of days on the market continues to increase, even as I'll show you coming up, sales took a big jump last week. This is the median list price per square foot for all MLS listings this week. A small improvement up to 251.41, but 250 a foot seems to be about the level for the median listing here. I'm going to show you coming up much more detail on this, but for now we're just looking at the broad picture. Let me show you now the four regions of the Villages and how many listings there are in each. Now I'll show you how the different regions of the Villages compare. As I said earlier, I've divided the Villages into four geographic regions. The first is the area I'm calling the North. This is everything south of Highway 42 and north of Highway 466. This includes Spanish Springs Town Square. This week there are 276 active listings. I'm also going to be showing you in a little bit what levels of activity are for the different regions in terms of sales and homes going pending. The north is the older part of the Villages. This is where the Villages development originally began. The second area I'm calling the Mid-North. This is everything south of 466 and north of 466A. It includes Lake Sumter Town Square. This is still one of the more popular regions of the Villages due primarily to its proximity to so many amenities. It's commonly referred to as between the sixes, and most of the Villages is easily accessible from this location. This week, 169 active listings in this region. Third is the area I'm calling the Mid-South. This is everything south of 466A and north of Highway 44. This includes Brownwood Town Square. We're getting into the newer part of the villages now. I'm going to show you of the homes currently available for sale when they were constructed. You can get some sense as to how the path of development in the villages has been progressing. Now we come to the newest part of the villages, the south. I can remember when there were less than 50 homes for sale in this region. Everything south of Highway 44 is the south. This includes the new town square, and this week 100 active listings. So we're going to take a closer look at the differences between the regions from a data perspective, but first let's look at the villages as a whole. As I said, this week 604 active listings. Sizes range from 786 square feet to 4,054, 1,525 square feet the median. Prices range from 110,000 to 1,000,006 this week, with 375,000 being the median. And on a per foot basis, prices range from 117 to 507 a foot, with 251 being the median. Now let's take a look at the different regions of the villages and see how these numbers change. Here you can see the same information that I just showed you for the villages as a whole, but now we've broken out the four geographic regions. You can see in the north, 276 active listings this week. In the south, 100. Sizes in the north range from 786 square feet to 4,054. In the south, from 961 square feet to 2,930. On a per foot basis, prices in the north from 117 to 413, the median 233 a foot. In the south, price per foot ranges from 190 a foot to 503 a foot, with 272 being the median. I'm going to show you much more detail on how many homes are available in each of these per foot segments. You'll get some sense as to where activity is really centered. First, let's take a look at how many listings there are in each of these price buckets. You can see 604 active listings, 9 homes available for sale this week in the $100,000 to $200,000 price range. The most active price segment, the $300,000 to $400,000 range, 224 homes this week. And we have 2 homes this week that are priced at more than $1.5 million. To give you something to compare this to, here we look at homes that went pending over the last 60 days. You can see the same price buckets, and you can see how many homes in each of these price segments went pending over the last 60 days. Most active, 300,000 to 400,000, 66 went pending. And here we look at the homes that actually closed over the last 60 days, 336. You can see in what price segments the activity took place. Once again, the $300,000 to $400,000 price segment, the most active. One of our viewers asked for this information, so we thought we'd provide it this week. Here we look at how many listings there are in the price per square foot bucket. So, for example, the $100 to $125 a square foot, one home. The most active price segment, 250 to 275, 157 homes for sale, 225 to 250, 145, and at $500 a square foot or more, only 2 homes available for sale. Get a pretty good sense as to the price per square foot distribution here. Last look at listings for a while. Here we're looking at how old the homes are that are available for sale, and we're looking at what year they were constructed. You can see on the right the villages as a whole. The x-axis is the year of construction, and the y-axis on the left is how many listings there are this week. You can see that in the north, construction really began in the 80s and ended around 2000. In the middle north, between 2000 and 2010. In the Middle South, construction essentially from 2010 to 2020, and in the South, construction really only began around 2020. Now let's look at what changed last week, i.e. how many new homes were listed and how many homes went pending. New listings week by week, the red line. This is a smooth 4-week average. Pending home sales, the blue line. The 5 positive, i.e. 5 more homes going pending than were newly listed, is a 4-week average. You'll see when we look at the actual weekly number that that number was pretty flat, but you can see that new listings have essentially been declining steadily for the last several weeks. These are the actual unsmoothed numbers week by week. You can see new listings and pending home sales. there was one more home going pending last week than was listed. The zero line represents an equivalent number. If the reading is higher than zero, it means more homes are going pending than are listed. Below zero indicates more new listings than homes going pending. We've been spending a lot of time with more new listings than homes going pending. New listings have exceeded homes going pending for most of the last year. The information I've been giving you on homes going pending reflects activity over the last 7 days, but on this map, I'm showing you the location of the homes that went pending over the last 60 days. Once again, size of the circle, size of the home. The brighter the circle, the more expensive per square foot. You can see where the focus of activity has been for the prior 60 days. This is an interesting chart this week. We're looking at how long the homes were on the market that went pending over the last 7 days. The graph you're looking at is a smooth 4 week average, 66 days, the highest level that we've ever seen. But it's worth noting that the raw data showed a jump week over week from 65 days to 82 days. In other words, the homes that went pending last week had a median time on the market of 82 days, which is the highest level we've ever seen. We're going to keep looking in depth at the homes that went pending over the last 7 days. This is a smooth 4 week average. You can see 243.27, the median price per square foot for the homes going pending over the last 7 days. As I said, this is a 4 week average. This is the lowest level we've ever seen. The actual weekly number was 237.44, which, while it's shockingly low, is not the lowest we've seen. The lowest we've actually seen was 234.96 the week of 9/11 of 2023. Also noteworthy is that week over week, the median price per square foot for the homes going pending over the previous 7 days, we dropped from 244.66 2 weeks ago to 237.44 last week. Here we continue looking at the homes going pending over the last 7 days. We're looking at what the median price reduction was from the original asking price, 6.19%, the median reduction, not the highest level we've ever seen, but it certainly appears as if this continues to edge higher. We're going to take a look at the homes closing last week, but before we do that, let me show you this information, giving you some sense of the activity levels in the different parts of the villages. You can see north, mid-south, and south as I described earlier. You can see how many homes are active on the MLS this week as of today, and you can see how many homes went pending or sold for the prior 60 days. When we take an in-depth look at pending home sales and homes that closed, we're going to look at the prior 7 days, i.e. last week. But here we look at the prior 60 days. You can see trends here. If the number is higher than the previous week, it's highlighted in green. If it's lower, it's highlighted in red. So after looking at what seems to be pretty dismal news, here is a bright point. We're looking at the number of homes closing over the prior 7 days. As of today, the 4 week average is 44 and a half homes, but the smoothing effect of the 4 week average really doesn't reflect how strong sales were last week. I'll show you that in graphs coming up. But just to give you a tease, 59 homes closed last week on the MLS, which is the highest level that we've ever seen. We don't normally include this graph because this is the unsmoothed version of the chart you just saw earlier. Here you can see every week's sales level activity. You can see that the 59 sales last week is the highest level that we've ever recorded here. We're going to keep looking at sales. People always ask me when a good time of year is to buy or sell. You can get some sense as to seasonal activity by looking at this graph, which shows you sales by week. You can see the weeks of the year on the x-axis below and the number of sales, the y-axis on the left. 2022 sales levels are the dark blue line, 2023 the light green line, 2024 the red line, 2025 this year, and you can see how noteworthy the 59 sales last week were in the grand scheme of things. Here's a smoothed version of the previous chart. 2023 the light green line, 2024 the dark blue line, and 2025 this year the light blue line. We had been very closely tracking the sales activity levels of 2024, But as I pointed out, this last week's level of sales is a big jump. A little more detail on the homes closing over the last 7 days. This is a 4-week average, but this shows you how long they were on the market before going pending. The 4-week average of the median time on the market before these homes went pending is now 46 days. So it certainly appears as if buyers are responding to lower prices. Here we're looking at the median price per square foot. This is a smooth 4-week average. As I said, the median price per square foot for the homes closing last week, 241.25. The 4-week average is 241.25, but the actual number last week was only 236 a foot. Here's a map designed to give you some understanding as to where the sales activity is taking place. Here we're looking at homes closing over the last 60 days. Once again, size equals size of the home, and the brighter the color, the more expensive per square foot. You can form your own opinion as to where sales activity is currently focused. Now we're looking at all current listings once again, and we're looking at what percentage of listings have reduced their asking price from the original asking price. 62.58% have. This is not smoothed. You can see how close we are to 2 out of 3 homes having reduced their asking price. And as I continue to point out, you can see that it was only recently that the percentage of listings with a price reduction was less than half. And once again, looking at all MLS listings this week, here we look at the median price reductions for all of those listings, 4.76%, the median price reduction from the original asking price. If you're a buyer and you're trying to find a good deal here in the villages, or you're a seller and you're trying to maximize your return in a reasonable period of time, please reach out to me at either DavidisinFlorida.com or DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'll be happy to research properties for you, answer questions about life in Central Florida or life in the villages itself. If you have any questions, once again, DavidisinFlorida.com, DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Please reach out if you have any questions. Hope to hear from you. Take care.